What if I told you that you already hold the key to managing difficult people, those who seem to test your patience, your values, and even your very sense of self? The ancient Stoics understood that the answer to dealing with challenging individuals isn't about changing them. It's about transforming your own approach. Today, we explore how Stoicism offers profound insights to help you calmly navigate interactions with difficult people, such as idiots, narcissists, and those who test your character. In life, difficult people are unavoidable, but whether they drain you emotionally, dismiss your ideas, or push your buttons, the Stoics believe that your peace doesn't have to be at their mercy. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions, not the actions of others, determine our experience. The Stoics mastered ways to handle challenging individuals without losing their sense of self or calm. Let's explore how they did it and how you can use these techniques to protect your own inner tranquility. Number 1. Use the power of choice. One of the most fundamental concepts in Stoic philosophy is the dichotomy of control, which distinguishes between what is within our control and what is not. This principle is central to the Stoic way of life, and it holds particular significance when dealing with difficult people. In his Enchiridion, Epictetus reminds us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This profound statement teaches that external events, including the behavior of others, are beyond our control, but our reactions to those events are entirely within our power. For Stoics, this means that we are responsible for how we respond to irritating, hostile, or foolish behavior, rather than being driven by emotions like anger or frustration when confronted by a difficult person. The Stoic pauses and reflects, recognizing that they have the power to choose their response. This ability to respond thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively, allows the Stoic to maintain inner peace and avoid being manipulated by others' actions. The dichotomy of control empowers us to focus on our own behavior, ensuring that we remain calm, rational, and composed, regardless of the chaos unfolding around us. Imagine someone insulting you in a public setting. A typical reaction might be anger, embarrassment, or the urge to retaliate. However, a Stoic would view the insult differently. They would pause, consider whether their reaction is productive, and choose a response that maintains inner peace. This ability to choose, this power of choice, is fundamental. Rather than giving power to the person who insulted you, the Stoic takes control of their emotions and responds with calm and dignity. Number 2. Respect yourself. Respect for oneself is at the heart of Stoic philosophy, and it plays a crucial role in how we deal with difficult people. To truly respect oneself, according to Stoic principles, means to maintain personal integrity and self-worth regardless of external circumstances, especially when faced with individuals who may test or challenge your character. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, underscores this by saying, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." This reflects the Stoic belief that our actions, not our words, define who we are. When encountering disrespectful or difficult individuals, the key is not to lower your standards or engage in their negative behaviors, but to remain anchored in your own values. By focusing on your own self-respect, you prevent being dragged into their negativity. Instead of reacting to their insults or provocations, you respond with dignity, which preserves your inner peace and upholds your integrity. Stoicism teaches that no one can force you to lose your self-respect unless you allow it, and by embodying your values, you ensure that others' behavior doesn't dictate your emotional state. When someone criticizes you unfairly or attempts to belittle you, it's easy to feel hurt or defensive. But Stoicism teaches us that our self-worth doesn't come from others' opinions. It's rooted within us. Criticism, especially when unjust, often says more about the critic than about the person being criticized. Recognizing this truth empowers you to detach from the need for external validation. You are a person of inherent value, and that worth isn't defined by the judgments or opinions of others. Self-respect acts like a shield, allowing you to rise above unnecessary conflicts and avoid engaging in petty arguments or baseless judgments. When you know who you are, you're less inclined to prove yourself to others. Instead, you maintain your dignity, choosing to respond with calm confidence rather than reacting out of wounded pride. By respecting yourself, you project a quiet strength that communicates your resilience and inner stability, showing that others' opinions can't shake your sense of self. Number 3, maintain your mindset. Stoics train their minds to maintain composure and clarity in any situation. And this mental discipline becomes invaluable when dealing with difficult people. In challenging moments, emotions can cloud judgment and lead to reactive responses, but Stoics strive for an unshakable calm. Marcus Aurelius encapsulated this approach when he said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do." His words highlight the Stoic belief that true peace arises not from controlling others, but from mastering oneself. When we shift focus away from trying to influence others' perceptions or behaviors, we reclaim control over our own emotional state. This shift frees us from feeling pressured to conform or respond in ways that compromise our values. By concentrating solely on our own actions and mindset, we navigate difficult interactions with resilience, enabling us to maintain inner peace and act with integrity, regardless of external provocations. Difficult individuals frequently seek to disrupt our inner peace, sometimes with intent and other times due to their own unresolved issues. These people often thrive on the reactions they provoke, feeding off the tension and chaos they incite. The Stoic approach, however, teaches us to be an unshakable observer, one who remains steady and composed, regardless of external provocations. Stoics understand that true strength lies in detachment, in choosing not to be a puppet to someone else's impulses or moods. When faced with a person who aims to unsettle you, practice seeing yourself as a calm, boundless ocean. Their harsh words, criticisms, or provocations are like a fleeting breeze that skims the surface, unable to disturb the vast stillness beneath. This mental imagery of calm waters not only cultivates resilience, but reinforces your control over your emotional state. By choosing to remain undisturbed, you deny difficult people the satisfaction of unsettling you, turning their attempts into passing moments that dissolve harmlessly into the background. This response both protects your inner peace and strengthens your own resolve, embodying the Stoic ideal of self-mastery. Number 4, understand and accept. Stoics teach us that human nature, in all its complexity, is inherently flawed, which is why it's essential to approach others with a mindset of understanding rather than judgment. Epictetus emphasized that most people's actions are shaped by deeply rooted habits, ignorance, or fear, often arising from a lack of self-awareness. This idea doesn't excuse poor behavior, but rather encourages us to see the underlying factors that drive people to act in frustrating or self-centered ways. Take narcissists, for example. Their grandiosity often masks deep insecurities and a fragile sense of self-worth. When we understand that their actions stem from these vulnerabilities, we're less likely to respond with anger or frustration. Instead, this perspective fosters compassion, allowing us to disengage emotionally and maintain our inner calm. By recognizing the imperfections in others, Stoicism empowers us to set healthy boundaries without resentment, cultivating both patience and resilience in the face of challenging personalities. By accepting others for who they are, we free ourselves from the constant frustration of expecting people to act differently than they do. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that much of our disappointment with others comes from our assumptions about how they should behave rather than how they actually are. When we recognize that people often act irrationally, driven by personal biases, insecurities, or a lack of self-awareness, we begin to see their actions as reflections of their own limitations, not as direct challenges to us. This shift in perspective removes the emotional weight we might otherwise carry when dealing with difficult individuals. Instead of feeling hurt or irritated by their behavior, we accept it as part of the broader human condition. This acceptance doesn't mean we condone harmful actions, but it does mean we're no longer surprised or distressed by them. We simply let go of unrealistic expectations, thereby protecting our own peace of mind and responding with a calm detachment that reinforces our inner stability. Number 5. Focus on positive aspects. Stoics encourage us to recognize and focus on the good in each person, even those we find challenging. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that every individual, no matter how flawed, possesses some virtue or strength worth acknowledging. This approach helps build tolerance and empathy, reminding us that no one is entirely defined by their shortcomings. When we look for positive aspects in others, it shifts our perspective from irritation to understanding. For instance, even a person who acts arrogantly might possess a level of confidence that could be constructive in other situations. By identifying these small virtues, we train ourselves to see beyond immediate frustrations, cultivating patience and a balanced outlook. This practice also reinforces the Stoic belief that everyone is doing the best they can with their level of understanding and personal limitations. Rather than feeling anger or resentment, focusing on the good in others helps us accept them as they are, making interactions less antagonistic and more compassionate. This gentle but powerful shift in perception not only eases our encounters with difficult people, but also fosters a sense of inner peace and resilience. In Stoicism, respecting others doesn't mean ignoring or excusing poor behavior. Rather, it's about taking a balanced view that helps you avoid falling into judgment or frustration. By choosing to recognize a small, positive trait or habit in a difficult person, you're not just seeing them in a kinder light. You're giving yourself a tool to rise above negativity. For instance, a narcissistic person may display a level of confidence or skill in a specific area, even if their ego overshadows it. Acknowledging this strength doesn't mean endorsing their behavior, but gives you a more complete picture, allowing you to engage with them on your own terms, grounded in rationality rather than resentment. This approach keeps you steady and objective, guarding against emotional reactions that may drag you into conflict. Seeing the positive qualities in challenging individuals promotes empathy, strengthens your patience, and ultimately makes it easier to interact with them without compromising your own values. Number 6. Avoid retaliation actions. One of the most powerful insights from Stoicism is the practice of non-retaliation, a principle rooted in strength and self-control. Marcus Aurelius famously advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury," encapsulating the Stoic belief that true power lies not in responding to harm with harm, but in preserving one's character despite provocation. Stoics understand that retaliating out of anger or spite only compromises one's own integrity, sinking to the same level as those who inflict harm. To retaliate is, in effect, to give power to the one who caused offense, allowing their behavior to shape our own. By choosing not to retaliate, a Stoic affirms their independence, demonstrating that their actions are governed by reason and self-respect rather than by fleeting emotions. This restraint not only disarms the offender, but also reinforces the Stoic's inner peace and commitment to higher virtues. Non-retaliation is therefore a mark of true strength, reflecting a deep understanding that our responses define us far more than others' actions ever could. Retaliation often arises from our ego's craving for justice or a sense of personal victory, but Stoicism urges a different perspective, one that values personal integrity over vindication. For the Stoics, retaliation not only entangles us in negativity, but also reflects a lack of self-control, something they strove to master. When confronted with cruelty or disrespect, Stoics believe that calm and integrity are the highest responses, as they keep us aligned with our true character rather than lowering ourselves to the offender's level. By choosing not to retaliate, we actually disarm the other person, leaving them with nothing to feed off of emotionally. Often, those who act disrespectfully expect or even hope for an angry reaction, as it validates their own behavior. But when met with calm instead, they are left bewildered, realizing they hold no real power over you. This quiet strength not only preserves your peace, but also sends a message. Your sense of self-worth and composure are beyond the reach of their provocations. Number 7. Offer advice when appropriate. Stoicism places a high value on wisdom, but it also teaches restraint in sharing that wisdom. While the Stoic philosophy encourages us to live by its principles, it also emphasizes the importance of knowing when and how to offer advice. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, cautioned against preaching or imposing one's beliefs on others, stating, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." This means that instead of merely talking about Stoicism or trying to change others with words, it's far more effective to live by its principles and let your actions speak for themselves. By setting a strong example of calmness, resilience, and wisdom, you inspire others to learn from your behavior rather than feeling lectured or judged. When it comes to offering advice, Stoicism teaches that we should do so only when it's asked for, or when the other person shows a genuine openness to hearing it. And when we do offer guidance, it should come from a place of kindness, respect, and without any sense of superiority. This ensures that our advice is received in the spirit of growth, rather than resistance or defensiveness, fostering an atmosphere where wisdom can truly take root. When dealing with someone who frequently irritates or misunderstands you, your calm demeanor and self-control can serve as a powerful example that may inspire them to reconsider their behavior or perspective. By remaining composed, you demonstrate emotional maturity and wisdom, which can subtly encourage the other person to reflect on their actions. Often, people react to the energy and emotions of others, so when you stay calm and unflustered, it can break the cycle of conflict. However, if the individual remains resistant or confrontational despite your efforts, it's usually wiser to refrain from engaging further. In such cases, silence becomes a stronger tool than words. By choosing not to escalate the situation, you take away their opportunity to provoke you, and your silence speaks volumes, showing that you are unshaken by their negativity. This restraint not only protects your peace, but also reinforces the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control: your actions, not their reactions. Conclusion: mastering yourself to manage others. Dealing with difficult people is a constant part of life. But, as the Stoics teach, the true challenge isn't in managing others, it's in mastering yourself. By practicing the principles of choice, self-respect, and non-retaliation, you gain control over your own reactions. When faced with the chaos of difficult personalities, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now." So, the next time you encounter an idiot, narcissist, or anyone who tests your patience, remember, you have a choice. You can let them affect you, or you can rise above. Stoicism empowers you to choose the latter, creating a life where others no longer have the power to disturb your peace. If you found value in these Stoic principles, subscribe to Quotes and Relax 95 for more wisdom on personal growth and resilience. Share this video with anyone who needs a reminder of the power they hold within. Let's build a community rooted in Stoic wisdom and inner peace. Until next time, stay calm, stay centered, and keep practicing Stoicism.